welcome to this Defense Pure guide. I couldn't find a Defense Pure guide online, so after crying for a little while, I went all in, no fear, and made my own Defense Pure without any previous knowledge about them. Now before we start, if you're thinking about making a Defense Pure, they require a lot of time and effort depending on how you train it. It will also probably require a main or another account to supply it money, unless you're going to do Hunter on it or something to make money for it, because it can be expensive. So after making your fresh account, I suggest a really cool name like Tankosaurus. You're going to want to head straight to the chickens and make sure you're blocking, because obviously you're a defense pure, so obviously you don't want to get anything other than defense XP. So you stay at chickens until you get 1 to 10 defense. Then once you got 10 defense, you're going to want to head to wherever your main is, or whatever account's going to give you the monies for your gear, because that's what you're going to have to do next. But first, go to Draenor and trade Diango and get yourself an event RPG. It costs 225 GPs. So here's the gear for your level 10 defense setup. You're going to want a Fury, a event RPG, a Regen bracelet, and a Berserker ring. And you can of course bling yourself out with the Iron Full Helm G, Iron Plate Body G, and Iron Plate Legs G. And of course the pink cape and the pink bootsies. If you can't afford the Berserker ring or the Fury or both, you can just use the Strength amulet for now, because the Berserker ring isn't necessary at the moment. For supplies, you're going to need glories to bank for the first method that we'll get onto in a minute, and you need combat potions, because then we can hit 2s rather than 1s and nearly double our XP an hour. So Jakey, what am I even killing to get all this XP, and how much XP am I going to get? Well, the two main methods, or the two only methods I'm going to say in this guide, are Seagulls and Monks. Monks are AFK, you can just attack them, and they heal themselves, so it'll take a very long time to kill them. The pros don't come without cons though, so these AFK Monks are only 2k XP an hour. And they're limited to 2k XP an hour, because if you pot so you can hit higher and get more XP an hour, you end up killing them, which defeats the point of them being AFK, at which point you may as well be doing Seagulls. Seagulls, however, can come in at a maximum of 6.5k XP an hour, but this does come with the con of them not being AFK, as you need to pot up regularly, and they only have 6 HP, so they die quite quickly. The reason why Seagulls are so much better XP an hour than Monks is because Monks have 3 defense, and they have 0 defensive stats, but Seagulls have 1 defense, and they have minus defensive stats, which means you hit more accurately on Seagulls. The reason we're not using super attack and strength is because if you use them all the way up until 75 defense, they are just expensive. You'll spend around 20 mil on them, and also in these first few levels, the super strengths won't make a difference, only the super attacks will. So now you're ready to train up to 40 or 45 defense. Teleport with your glory to Draenor and then run to Seagulls. Follow the path on screen. Once you've arrived at Seagulls, you'll want to pot up. As you only have 10 defense, you're going to want to keep your strength level at 4. If it drops down to 3, you won't be able to hit 2s anymore. So make sure you stay potted up so you're always 4 strength. As you can see, the Seagull I'm attacking is level 2, and there's a reason for that. You know how I said earlier that Seagulls have 1 defense and minus 42 in defensive stats? Well, this level 3 Seagull right here, he doesn't. He still has 1 defense, but his defensive stats are 0, which means he's more resistant to attacks. So what you're going to want to do, lure him to this spot and then kick him while he's on the north side of you, and then once you get him down to low HP, he'll run away just like that. While you're here, he'll stay there unless you run out of his aggro area. And also other things can happen, like if another Seagull you're attacking flees just the same way that Seagull did, and you stand next to the level 3 Seagull while being attacked by the level 2 Seagull, the level 3 Seagull will just walk around. Sometimes a level 2 Seagull can flee down here, and this sometimes can cause the level 3 lured Seagull to go east. If the level 3 Seagull goes east, he'll stop around about here, but after a few seconds he will force spawn back here, which means he'll become unlured. So what you want to do is, if a level 2 Seagull lures you down here, run east immediately to make the level 3 Seagull go back west and get trapped here. Now you might be saying, Jakey, that sounds like way too much effort and I'm not doing that, nuh-uh. So what else can I do? Well, as I said earlier, you can kill Monks. And to get to Monks, you want to teleport with your glory to Edgeville, then run west to the monastery. And as before, these AFK, they require almost no effort. Like you can click once every 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, and you'll be getting 2k XP an hour. Now we've got both the training spots out of the way, now it's time for when do I change my gear? Well, this is when you change your gear. 10 defense, 40 to 45 defense, 60 defense, and maybe 65 defense. We've gone through 10 defense, so 40 or 45 defense, that's when you either need to imbue your Berserker Ring or get a Fighter Torso. Now technically, you can do 5 Nightmare Zone quests, which reward you with 5 Nightmare Zone bosses. So that means technically you can get a Berserker Ring Eye. I think it's easier to just get a Fighter Torso. It took me 6 hours to get the Fighter Torso and the Fighter Hat. The Fighter Hat just gives you accuracy bonuses, which is nice. For the rest of the gear with the 45 defense setup, it's Rune Boots and a Fury carrying on from 10 defense. This setup allows you to hit 2s while being at 3 strength, which means you don't have to pot as often. And also the Fighter Hat gives you accuracy bonuses, which boost your XP up a little bit more. The 60 defense setup is the same, and you'll still be getting the same XP an hour. You'll just look cooler in your dragon. Or there's another option where you can use the Maple Blackjack. This requires 30 thieving and a quest called the Feud. And to do that quest, it's really hard to do unless you have a buddy of yours avenging you, so you can kill the 2 bosses you have to kill. The XP difference now between the Event RPG and the Maple Blackjack is around 100 XP. The Maple Blackjack is around 100 XP an hour faster than the Event RPG, but it's so good because it gives you 20 strength bonus. This means you need to use super strength so you can pot to 6 strength, which means you can hit 3s, but you can only hit that 3 while you're at 6 strength, not 5, so you need to pot every single minute, which, as I've previously said, can cost you around 20 mil. Now 65 defense, you can wear Bandos, congratulations. So if you decide to wear Tassets, and you have a Berserker Ring imbued, you can use the Maple Blackjack method, and you only have to boost up to 5 strength to hit 3s. If my calculations are correct, someone could correct me in the comment section. But my personal opinion is just to stick to the Event RPG all the way up to 75 defense, as it doesn't cost you a lot, only combat potions, and it's the best XP an hour other than the Maple Blackjack, obviously. You may be wondering why I haven't mentioned the Red Topaz Machete. That's because the Event RPG is just better in all of the gear setups that I've tested. And I think that about sums it all up. I thank you for watching, and good luck with your Defense Pure if you decide to make one. Oh, and I almost forgot, you might not know this, but it's very important. If and when you get your DFS for 75 defense, do not ever use the DFS spec on an NPC because you'll gain magic XP. If you spec an NPC, you get mage and defense XP. If you spec a player, you'll get just defense XP, so you can only spec players with the DFS.